Put an X in each cell to indicate whether the number of sets, which number of sets the number belongs to. So we've got 1 2/5 pi 1.13 recurring minus 78, 0 and root 2. So remember that these stand for natural numbers, these stand for integer, these stand for rational numbers, and these stand for real numbers. So 1 2/5, if we make that an improper fraction, so we do 5 times 1 plus 2, that gives me 7/5. That can be written in the form a over b, which makes the number rational. It is also real. In fact, at this particular point, all these numbers here are real, so there should be a row of x's here at the end. Pi cannot be written in the form a over b, and therefore pi is irrational and also real. Now, 1.13 recurring can be changed into the form a over b by doing the following. Let x be equal to 1.13333. That dot across the 3 means that they recur. If you multiply that by 10x, you're going to get 11, moving the decimal point one place, 0.33333. If you see here, this line here, all these 3's line up. So if you do a subtraction of 10x minus x, so that one minus that one, you're going to have to just do 11.3 minus 1.1 on that side. So that gives me 9x is equal to 10.2, and then divide by 9, you're going to get that x is 10.2 divided by 9. That isn't really a fraction, but you can move the decimal point one place that way, and therefore if you do it to the denominator as well to balance it up, you're going to get 102 over 90. This could be simplified further, but there's no point. We've shown that it is in the form a over b, and therefore it is rational because it's q, and it was also a real number. Minus 78 is an integer. Therefore, if it's an integer, it's also a rational number because it can be written as minus 78 over 1, which is the form a over b, and real. 0 is a natural number, and if it's natural, then it's also an integer, and it's also a rational number written 0 over 1 and real. Root 2 cannot be written in the form a over b, and therefore that is said to be irrational and real. Right, so if we take our table and summarising what we got, so we said that this was a rational number and real, pi was irrational and real, 1.13 can be written as a fraction, so that is rational and real. Minus 78 is an integer, and because it's an integer, it's also a rational number and a real number. 0 is a natural number for the IB, and therefore if it's a natural number, it's also an integer. It is also a rational number and also a real number. And finally, root 2 is irrational, therefore it's irrational, it cannot be any of these, and therefore it is also real.